Test. Okay. Waiting for the audio check. Sounds like audio to me. Oh, where the heck was I? I've been screwing with all kinds of things. I kind of don't even remember where I left off. Had a menu screen. I think I already had that. Maybe not. Got some context info that pops up and fades out. I've got auto scaling up to 1080p. I'm gonna put the demo in the back there once I'm done with the monsters, which nearly am. Just gonna mess with my feedback a little. Okay. And settings, I didn't set up any of those yet, but just gonna be like volume meters. There's now a stuck button. I don't remember if that's new or not. Still got some print things. I'm gonna do another similar toast messages, this thing. Oh look, and I created a new bug, so let's go handle that first. By the way, does my automatic debug descent doesn't work either. So let's go find ygame.py. Huh, do I need the streaming page up? Yeah, it says I'm live. Hopefully that's still up. Game.py. It's at 180. Yeah, it lets me stay up. I just started typing things while the wrong window had focus, and off I went. Okay, what did that say? Line 218 in create level. Oh, because it's just like filler that I didn't even type in. Okay. Exits. I guess that should be like... those, they won't have distinct behaviors. I think I lost concentration while I was setting up their abilities here, like base defense, damage equals 2. HP equals 4. Base defense equals 1 or 2. I don't know. It's a lot of HP. We'll see how it pans out. Let's see if that works. I also needed like sprite numbers. That's what I was looking for in my notes. It's all coming back to me. Sprite numbers. All kinds of just random notes written trying to keep the numbers straight. Okay, so I know the rat is... Let me just go read what the rat is. That's already better, but let's go to entities and find... Yikes, what is going on out there? Enemy sprite defaults to 1, 2, 3. That's this guy. So big rat 124 121 minus 12 109. The heck was that? Okay. All right, let's see if that gets me running. Yeah, and I have a descent button. I think there's no... The turn timer is turned off, but if you smack a rat... Oh, I turn invisible. That's not what I meant for him to do. They used to turn into like a red version of their sprite. I wonder if I screwed it up on the sprite sheet. No, there they are. I just colored them red like they would have died of something. Didn't really have enemies picked yet, just... Bam. And now there's also treasure chests. They'll pop open. There's no loot yet, but it's like being written. This is actually a... Yeah, that is a dead end. So there's a stuck button. I wasn't exactly sure how to balance that. I should really just make levels that don't block you from completing it, but... Taking it to the wrong thing, aren't I? This is a resized level too. They're supposed to be a little bit more compact. But I believe, spoiler alert, because I think this is probably the most fun thing the game has, but yeah, that's weird. Let me check that entity code real quick. Entities. Okay, so if it's a boulder, 369 HP equals, okay, type equals player. So this would be like, and something I needed to add here was like, act. If you're, if the enemy is asked to act, this is just like up, down, left, right, randomly try to move. And this is bump, which return false is like if self.hp greater than 0. Return false. No, just return false because we're fighting. What I can do here is say like if self.hp is equal to 0, return true, because you're just like a doormat at that point. Like a corpse is an entity you can walk over top of. So I should fix that. And the other thing I want to do is call all the act functions on everything after the player takes their turn, which would be, where's player act? This is a little bit of a hack, but player doesn't really even need an act function. Entity act does nothing, so it'll be defined, but it won't do anything. Let's put that into the game in COS keys. There's the keyboard inputs. And, you know, other stuff that uses up your turn, the logic would go here too. Maybe it's not the right way to do it, but I think it'll work for this particular one. D, okay, then for E in self dot entities E dot act. So now everybody gets a turn. Right now, the only thing the enemies do is wander, but spawn me on top of the button. That's a little unusual. Guess it's not illegal. Ooh, it's a wandering rat. Okay, so now, okay, let's see what's going on there. So, we got a button. We got to exit. We have an enemy. Zero, 1, 2. So there's the enemy. R to HP 0. R dot entity dot sprite number. Yeah, that makes sense. Three, 6, 9. Okay, let me just double check that assets. Oh, come to think of it, I might have Kenny, TD, and friends. Yeah, they're missing from that one. Did I save it in like the well, it says assets. What's build assets? This one? Yeah, I think because I built it, it overwrote my hacked sprites. So I need to like save that, export it, and export it to assets as well. Because it's taking that number, but it's taking the asset number, but it wasn't showing the sprite of death. Oof, ouch. Oh yeah, and that's the it looks like it randomly tried to walk into me. Okay, so what does button do on bump? Someone bumped me, yeah. Enemy on bump. Self to HP 0, turn true. Button says bump. Oh, yep, got to do the moving myself. And is it like, is that the old-fashioned way of doing it? Yeah, it's do move so that I can call the enter and exit. Button probably doesn't care because it's the one that is actually concerned about it, so. Enemy bump do the same thing. Oh, it does it for the boulder. Yeah, that makes sense. Now let's see if that double moves me when there's a rat around. Oof, ouch. Oh. If you try to step on it, oh yeah, now it put me out of bounds. So that, yeah, that's not dx dy. That's totally wrong. It should be move you onto me. Although do move puts you out of position. Try move takes a direction. -1, +1. That's probably why it's done like this. It's like double moving in some cases, though. No, I don't know. No, that's fine. Button. Okay. Don't want to fight. Don't want to teleport when fighting rats. Okay, now I can step on it. Good. Squish. I think I might have to do a scoot. Like a scoot motion. Because just can't keep the rocks safe. Okay, the other thing I wanted to do was like test those other two enemies. Descend button. And then add some UI for all the player stuff. Because there's HP, there's defense, and there's all kinds of item definitions that need to be actually connected with the treasure chest at this point. So let me just grab these. I'll say something like self equals main menu dot crypt. Yeah. Okay, let's put some bad guys on level 1. V is not defined. Yep. So let me just say okay, so 130 is apparently a staff. And the dead rat sprite is hard-coded, so there's a Cyclops. HP 8. Oof, ouch. Okay. Yeah, so let's fix that for my enemies. Just gonna do a little trick with the sprite sheet. what is the difference between 123 and 369? $246. Okay, set the sprite there. I'm going to say self.base sprite plus 246. And what does the sprite sheet have to say about the rat to staff relationship? Oh, because I remembered the value wrong. It's 123, not 129. So just need to adjust my big rat definition. And while we're here, we know that the other's a player, so I should be able to say something like self dots no, other dots get damage. And don't go below 0. And I'll just put a print statement in. And get damage is defined in the player. Calc damage. Dang it. I like calc better. Calc damage to take into account equipment. So the equipment is just like a list, but there's an equipment class. Couple of different things on there, just the stuff I'm going to do. It's literally just reducing damage, doing more melee damage, or zap, which is just going to be like a point-to-point straight line thing you can shoot on a cooldown. So with that, let me change my notes. They still have no AI, so just gonna spice this up a little. Okay. Random rats. Okay. Now let's kind of get out of the way for a little bit. Okay, so there's our guys. Let's go start smacking some of them. Oh, look, you could let buttons press. The rat's pushing a boulder. Oh, I could just wait by the exit. Look, they're smacking each other. I could just run away. That's awesome. Okay, let's okay. I don't know if that's a feature or not. I don't think the enemy should just like smack each other. And the Cyclops is not actually calculating defense. It doesn't matter for the other ones because their defense is 0, but oof, ouch. Oh, look at that. Player hit for 1. Okay, so it looked like the sprite was changing early. We got some different colors. I don't see them hitting each other, but it was weird to me that that Cyclops died. I gotta figure out why. Oh, wait a second. Did someone push the boulder on top of that Cyclops? Yeah, these guys are taking their, like... They're not dead yet, but they're taking on the sprite that they are. Dude, if an enemy pushes my boulder off of the button and I have to walk back over there, I'm going to be so mad. Yeah, this is like the first level you're supposed to see an enemy on. 3, I think. Yeah, there's a couple of them now. Yeah, gotta fix that. Gotcha. And now we get some loot. Okay. And yeah, there's a stuck button, which basically just it resets the level. It doesn't take you any lower. I need to make it so that let me start jotting a little bit here. Back on Wednesday. I like owe myself a lot more check marks. So I think I need something like crushable equals true, and can push, I guess. For the rats. Pull boulder. And I think the easy way to do that is just basically ask the boulder to push you. It's really quite anti-Sokoban, but I think it's just going to be a lot better of an experience if you can pull the boulder. Oh, and then and UI and apply sound effects. Those are still not... I've got configurations for them, and I was shopping for free files for it, but they're not actually being loaded and played, so... Okay, let's hit these... All right, let's stop rats from pushing the boulder. So how would I do that? Let me go to the boulder code COE entities. I'm gonna go to the boulder. Oh. And we have bump. Boulders can't. So like the implication here is that if it wasn't a boulder, it was just the player and they're allowed to do it. The reason for that is because nothing else could move before I added enemies. So if it wasn't a boulder pushing another boulder, then it was a player pushing you. But now if enemies are wandering around, we're going to need a... then we are going to other dots. What did I call it? Can push. If not, so that's all it should take, really. I just got to go to enemy and make sure that they have can push defined. And I'm going to go to enemy, make that a default. Save it. Now the bowler should be able to check if they can push or not. To test that, I'm just going to make like a room full of Cyclopses and give them a bunch of boulders. Oh, and the other thing is bump. Going to give you a crushable property too. I just want to put on the record, this was entirely my wife's idea. I was like, well, like, my only idea was that you were supposed to try to avoid killing the enemies or not wanting to fight them too close to the boulder because you might push it against the wall and ruin your puzzle solution. But she's like, oh, unless you could crush them with the boulder. And I just cracked up so hard at that. I was like, drop everything. That's it. That's the feature. That's the killer feature of this game. So if the other's a boulder, I got an idea. So if because being crushed by a boulder is like insta death. But what we'll say here is if not self.crushable. Oh, and self.hp greater than 0. Return false. Because if they're dead, I actually want you to be able to push a boulder over something's corpse regardless of if they're crushable when alive or not. So just, you know, no reason to have to push your boulder around a Cyclops' corpse. Just roll it right over him. That should really be the first two. Now, pull boulder. This is probably an interesting one. So I'm going to do this with the player. I mean, no, I think I'm going to do it in the game, actually, because it's kind of like a different kind of motion. Save that, right? Game. So we have keys here. So I'm going to do it like here. Pull boulder. So the trick behind this is I want to doodle, actually. Doodle. Oh. Guess what? Got an update. They moved my menu. if that works. Try again. Unless I got the IP address wrong again. Okay. So to push a to pull a boulder, like it would be handy if the boulder pushed us. That's also, I do actually need to make a quick note about that. Like I want the player to get like pushed around by the boulder, but not insta-killed by it. It's like good old boulder. Here's a wall. Here's our player. Pointy hats on his head. And we want to both go one square up. Pull the boulder. And I don't want to have to specify the direction. I just want to hit the pull action and then move a boulder backwards from the wall or something. So, you know, here's like players at, you know, their X, Y. And we want to check, this is -1, -1, 1, 1. And then kind of every combination thereof. Not 0, 0. There's no boulders there. Okay. And it seems like if I find a boulder at 0, -1, I want to apply 0, -1. So what I'll do is I'll check for this like a dx, dy. If we find a boulder, then search at player plus, you know, dx, dy, and try move. And we'll just assume that if the player can move 0, 1, negative dx, negative dy. We actually don't need to check diagonals, but so if try move succeeds, then we will apply that. Then that would be do move player plus negative dx, negative dy, and boulder gets moved to player's old position. Yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so what do we say is, and this is also going to do that thing too. So for -1, and what I could actually say is here's a dx, dy. Unpack them automatically. -1, 0, 1, 0, and 0, 1. How do we find boulders? ce.boulder entity. Then I'll pull boulder search. I don't need to return anything. So let's say I don't want to use a break here. It's like a double loop. Pull boulder. I mean, if it works, then we want to, yeah, I will return, at least lets me get out of the whole function without doing anything else. But I want to do the action thing here. Let's add more functions, why not? Just say I need to add it. Because I mean, if you try to move and you fail, it still counts as a move. Bumping the wall lets the enemies move, so trying to pull a boulder will do the same thing. And return, that's the end of that. Def pull boulder move. So I guess what we'll do here is but actually the delta would be handy too. So if the try move is successful, then we will say old toss equals player's group position. I actually need to negate this, don't I? Negative P0, negative P1. Try it for real. Okay, let's see if I did that correctly. Oh, and what I'll say here is for E, let's announce that we can pull it, and if not, oh, outermost. Take a crack at it. There's a boulder. Dang it, guess what? I need to assign a button to it. Can't just do it out of the strength of your will. I actually kind of like X for a key to pull it. It's kind of like right by the WASD pad, implying you may need to do it often. Could probably get rid of the stuck button if you can pull boulders. There's probably some cases that you can really be stuck, but I mean, if you can pull it backwards down a whole hallway, you might never be stuck. So let's take a crack at this. Key equals X, self dot pull boulder search. Okay. Player has no grid pos. I keep doing that. I should probably rename that. Did I do it anywhere else? What exact? Okay, so push, yeah. I can pull it down. That it works going down. But from this side, it puts the boulder above me. I go down and the boulder goes where I was. So if I'm above, put it on this little flowery spot. If I'm above and I hit X, I just jump over it. And if I do it here, I go down and the boulder goes above me. What did I type? Okay, so this says found boulder to pull 18. This is too much info. I don't need to see the whole grid description every time. It's distracting. Let's see. Found boulder. Okay, and now let me just say player.try move. Negative P0, negative P1. Looks right to me. I'm just going to do this a couple times. I think I have like untested entity stuff, don't I? That I just kind of jumped to pulling a boulder around, huh? Gotta see if you can still crush a Cyclops. Okay. Boulders at 2-6. 2-6, 3-6. Oh, something else I should put is the delta value, which is called P. Okay, here's a boulder. D moves it. X flips it. Okay, 0, -1. 0, -1. That seems not correct. Oh. Okay, here's what something I should have done. Here's what a more thorough software tester would have done. Let me just, yeah. It is actually a complete teleportation of the boulder, so yeah, that's why. I forgot the most important part of the logic, which is if E dot draw pos does not equal dx dy. I don't know how to like that with integers, but let's try it. Just assume that any boulder is suitable for pulling. No boulder found to pull, good. But no boulder found to pull here either, so I think I need to make it into integers. X and AE. Shouldn't have to do that. Should open an engine bug for that. Oh wait, it's also stupid of me. Let's actually try the right thing first here. It's a DX. You need to find it by adding to the player's position. Did I even take notes? That's such an obvious misunderstanding of the program. Okay, there we go. What do you know? If you do all the steps, okay, so it does not let you pull into a wall. That's good. I'm unstoppable. Yeah, it doesn't seem to open up any obvious exploits, but okay, I gotta say, pulling boulders is so anti-Sokoban. I can't believe I'm entertaining this idea, but okay, so enemies. Let's see how much mischief I can get into with some enemies now. There's a boulder. What I can actually do here is I cast summon boulders. Let's just say, actually, let me just grab it from the code. CE dot boulder entity. There's our test boulder. Okay. I can just tell this is gonna crack me up so much. I'm already ready to just cackle at the nonsense. And there's nothing really stopping the enemies from spawning on top of each other when they're random like this. But I don't care. And I need to add some powers to this guy. Which is crushable equals false, and can push equal true. So let's hit play. Let's open up the console. I cast summon boulders. Oh, forgot one. I cast summon rats. And I cast Summon Cyclopses. Now just get out of the way. Oh yeah, like all these enemies are just going to stand on the... Okay, so... Cyclops is definitely pushing boulders around. Oh, poor rat. He's stuck in the corner there. That boulder's stuck because it's against another boulder. Why do they tend towards the bottom? What's going on here? Can't say I did anything to do that intentionally. Oh yeah, I'm getting ganked. The fun thing now is I should be able to just like... Yeah. So it looks like they're not by default crushable anymore, which explains why the Cyclopses were not having a good time. Don't need that. I'm going to need that one because I'm going to turn that print statement into an on-screen message, but... Boulder bumper. Other can push. What did I put? Can push equals true for Cyclops. And in the enemy bump. Nope. Player. Boulder enemy. Enemy bump. Self.crushable. So let's say here, like, if not crushable, and we have above 0 HP, just to try and see, like, if we are actually triggering uncrushable. Other type equals boulder. Good enough. Okay. I need a wait key as well. I think it's usually period or dot. Okay, button. Man, they're just really not interacting. They can't really punch each other. Guess I'll have to do it myself. Uncrushable Cyclops. So that's successful. What about you? Did I put like crushable by or uncrushable by default? Let's see. Crushable equals false. That's why. Got to specify it on every rat that way. Yeah, let's make the rats crushable by default. Next test. Copy and paste the same incantations 4 times. Ouch, my entire body. Yeah, so it's happening. They're crushing some of them. The Cyclopses really don't know what they're doing. Okay, so actually if you try to pull a boulder, you'll attack an enemy that's behind you, which is not... I think that might be a bug, so... Okay, not necessarily. Okay, so... Sorry? Also, it's... I need to make sure that the corpses go down. Yeah, this guy's uncrushable. I can't do it. I don't think the boulder can push the player yet either, but... Okay, so... I need to make sure that corpses are not, like, permitting living enemies to get trod upon. Yeah, like, I was able to just pull that... or push the boulder over the Cyclops. He didn't die of it, but... Wait, is that, like... Let's see. Yeah, some other corpse is allowing the Cyclops crush event to happen. Like, this guy, like, bugged out. I can't, like, really interact with them at all now. And it does seem like they're tending towards the bottom left corner or something. I mean, this is... Okay, and also pulling works as intended if you pull it backwards over a button. That's so awesome. Okay. Graphical glitch with the bloody body, which is enemy. If we're bumping, we're fighting. And just having HP 0 is a marker enough of being dead, so I think that's it. They should look dead now. They should act dead now. I need to give them something better than wander around. Just try to move a random cardinal direction. Great. Oh, hurting the player back. Because already they have a... Well, they call the player's bump with other. So let's go to player and go to our bump definition. And that would be a... Let me just say like other and other.base damage. I'm just gonna go to the entity and reduce the info in the repr. I don't do enough cross-grid debugging. Let me just plunge a bit. I think I have some like deep level generation issues too, but okay. Got a chest, yeah. That chest is actually blocking a door there, so. That's real bad. Oh, no. So, oh, I wonder if I can... This might be a shape that's actually still unsolvable. Yeah. Pop, pop. Because even if I can get it there, I have to be able to get around to the side of it. So there is still a chance to get stuck. It's a little narrow. I could fix that. The exit could also do that, so it's not completely clear if I could just delete around it. That's what I've been doing with the boulders, is just giving them margin around it. Get rid of the walls around it, but... Okay, let's at least make a... Where was I going with that? Lost my train of thought. Get the player to take some damage, right? Oh. Yeah, we need a wait command as well. I guess I would just bump a wall for now, but... Yeah, so these rats are eating me alive at this point. Oof, ouch, my rat. Could kill you guys faster if I had a rock. That is just stupidly satisfying. Just mowing him down with my boulder. So, because you just like bump the first thing on a square, we get all kinds of glitches where things are like a little bit invulnerable on the square. But it's by draw order, so I need to make sure that entities go down to ground level on the draw order and that the entity list gets sorted. I'll add this to the enemy activity. Because, oh, before enemy activity and afterwards. So, how do we do that? Let's let me go look at the game and look at enemy turn. All it does is act. So what does add entity have to say about it? So add entity adds an entity to it adds it to the internal list, and this is like game objects, like player, treasure chest, boulder, stuff like that. And we sort it by draw order, and we add the grid entity. That's the McRogueface engine entity. That's what holds just the rendering stuff, the sprite, the texture, the position on the grid, and the relationship to that grid, so it can be found and rendered. So we want to sort it before we ask things to interact, because whoops, it's not even the line I wanted. Add entity, this one. So the places we need to add this are anywhere it says act. So I'm just gonna assume, how big of an assumption is this, that we don't really care that much before the enemy's turn? Or between, I should say. Like, I guess they could be like crushing each other or things like that. Like the Cyclops could crush a rat, and we don't want something else to get invulnerability from that. But I don't know. It would have to be, I think, with multiple Cyclops, multiple boulders, and multiple rats, all within a couple of tiles of each other. It's not really super important, I think. But let's also do this before any player try move, which includes the boulder one. And adding it to a bunch of places, I've been thinking I should add like a new like start turn, do turn kind of manager to the game. But I'll worry about that later. And for the enemy class, when we die, nope, that's boulder. Like, I don't see the thing I'm looking for. It's the same as a button, right? Okay, so I try to keep things from going on top of the exit, but and oh, okay, I'm not. I don't have good control over which boulder I'm pulling, unless there's just a few. That's fine. I don't really intend it to be like a tactic. Very pleasant row of boulders. Yeah, I think this is another one of those unsolvable shapes, isn't it? Need to start making oh, I mean, in this case, I'm like, how do I get a rock down there to crush all these guys? I know a way. Oh. Hey, what gives? Oh, I only did one of the coordinates. Hey, can you do that? Huh. Boulder doesn't have base damage, huh? Oh. This is my chance. the Cyclops bumped the boulder, which bumped me. Yeah, and every time he tries to push it, it'll okay, and I can split. Oh, awesome. You do have to kill something if it walks into the door, but do I... Okay, if I give a boulder base damage, it can just hurt the player, but I kind of wanted to player bump. Okay, let me try this. We'll and dx dy in this case is the direction that the boulder is moving. So what I'll do here is say is if type of the other is equal to boulder entity, a Cyclops pushed it, you know, or an enemy that can push it pushed it. So I'll say like boulder hit with knockback, and we will call self.game dot what? What's the boulder pulling one? Pull boulder move, D and target boulder, and it doesn't give the enemy a turn because that's part of the search. So, brilliant. Pull boulder move, dx dy, other. So if that's right, then I've already given the Cyclops a way to hit me with a boulder. So to test that, I'm going to load up on Cyclopses boulders. Yeah, they'll just beat the crap out of me, won't they? Okay, so we're moving around. Let me try to just like... Oh, he's pushing it. Okay, it's still trying to do it. So what is going on here? In bump. Other bump the player. Did I just like do something? Did I save it? Come on. Come on. Okay. Boulders can't push boulders. It still says doesn't have base damage. So, did I get like the type wrong or something? Enemy entity, base damage, every time. So on the player bump, let me just... Oh, it still tries to do it, duh. Boulder hit with knockback. Is that actually going to work? So let me just stand right here. Come on, somebody hit me. That's a lot of Cyclops. Yeah, I actually do need to wait, don't I? Oh yeah, can really like wait these guys out if you have a wait ability. Okay, let's sit here in my little doesn't really influence them, so I don't know why I'm trying to round up the rocks. I could always make it so that the I can make it so that there's like 2 rocks deep. They wouldn't be able to push them. That would help these guys fight, but I don't know. I might want to just do this towards the bottom because this is where I think they're going to go anyway. Oh, did I get the name of it right? No, I should probably double check that first, shouldn't I? Doesn't seem to work. Well, what does it do? Period, capital P. Okay. Get my little hidey hole ready. Oh, I can't tell which one I want to pull. Yeah. Confusing, but I don't think that's really a gameplay concern. All right. Let them come. Okay, why? I want to see if they're doing... Button is clicking, yeah. Oh. He pushed it. Boulder hit with knockback. Oof, ouch. So, they did some knockback on me, but they're not, it's not moving me. which means I need to go back to in the game. This guy. Hey. I was using that. I can't do it now. Minus 1.0, boulder entity. So I mean, if I try to pull here, it works fine. That's 1.0. Okay, so I need to invert it on the. I need to invert the coordinates, but that's not how I thought it worked. Player entity. Bump. Okay. Is he gonna do it? No, because that guy's uncrushable. Player hit for 1. So it made me hit the Cyclops behind me when he kicked me with a boulder. There we go. Okay, so he can kick me with a boulder now. Oh, what I could do is I could do it 3 times or 4 times. Send you into a wall. How do I animate it though? Okay, I think I could do it in the, like I could give the animations a bit of a speed and the sprite motion across the screen in a do move, but it really does like slow down the pace of the engine a lot if you're waiting for animations to complete. You gotta throw away key presses too. It makes it really weird because your key presses still get processed when the animation's done, or while the animation's running I gotta like basically consume them and save them to do them in a row, or delete them because, you know, if you're mashing buttons while it's animated and then it just keeps trying to do those things, it could be like lots and lots of frames until you're able to really have control again. Okay, so this is basic. Like, we got a lot of mechanics now. I think I want to do the on-screen GUI. All that generation. This, like, where are we at now? The game file's 500 lines. $1,475 lines. I think I want to take a break and start a pizza dough, clean my kitchen. But I will pick up with UI, show the player's health, and start working on items, a little bit of like health potions and stuff. I have a whole tiny class system which is based around, this is the game file, right? Based around these items, which really I just got my inspiration from Kenny NL's sprite set itself. A couple of defensive items, a couple of melee items, and the ability to cast magic. Just going to do a straight line damage at a distance effect called Zap. And a couple of potions. And there is a very simple luck and minimum depth system implemented. And I'm planning on making, whenever you get a weapon or, whenever you get a piece of equipment, any of these like shield, sword, axe, or wand type stuff, you'll basically get the chance to say whether you're happy about it or not happy about it. And if you choose that archetype, for example, you find an axe, you pick to be a Viking, then it will weight Viking items at, where does it say it? 3 times their base weight. So just trying to lean the loot pool towards the thing that you're looking for. And if you are like if you're trying to be a knight and you keep finding wizard stuff, I'm also hoping to have a menu pop up so you can do kind of like a disenchant type thing where you're 50% chance of getting a buff to your existing equipment rather than just getting nothing out of a chest. Although, there might be a lot of chests, so who's to say that's important? Either way, been a ton of fun. And I'll be back later to try to get this thing over the finish line. Take care.